never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Low. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Low. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the red. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Low. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Low.
Hey, yo, what's happening, people? What's going on? Y'all know what time it is. This is right at 8:30, so it is time for Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Low.
And Ask a Cop is not coming. I saw it running late, so I'm not sure. But that's number one. I only doing two more.
Yeah, we're gonna go with not coming. So you said you did it once, so
Yeah, I
two
got
more
two more,
times.
that's it.
Okay, two more times. Well, listen, as I said, man, it's 8:30. So it's that time. We need for y'all to go ahead as you're sitting there looking at it on YouTube. Go on, hit that. Let me change that. Looking at it on YouTube, that means that you are live. So there's going to be a little heart button to the side, especially if you're looking at it on your cell phone. It's probably there on some tablets, but cell phones for sure. It's a heart over there. Hit that heart. Then what's going to happen is, what y'all say? Emojis. I got it right this time. The emojis are going to go up. Once those emojis go up, you need to hit those buttons because that helps our
algorithm
go up. And we keep telling y'all, man, we free for now. Y'all keep doing it for Shay, and y'all doing it. Look at Cam get cursed out, and y'all doing it for all that type stuff. And all we doing is trying to feed you with some good stuff. We ain't come up here to have people cursing us out. You know what I'm saying? Because we're humble people. You know, it's a little different. You know, with them other folks. You know, they up there doing all that. Tyrese went off on Shay, and y'all just hitting the buttons and everything. Man, hit the buttons over here. Hit the buttons over here and, you know, share what's happening over here because we're doing something for the community. We're not just up here to be embarrassed and make us look even worse than what we looked before. You know what I'm saying? Angelo, how you doing, dog?
I'm good, brother. Everything good.
Good thing. We're going to get into, I know everybody's excited about football season. It's upcoming. We're looking at, less than 48 hours before the first game? Thursday night?
Yeah,
wow.
something like that.
How about that?
Exciting.
Wow, Thursday night. Yeah.
Exciting. Yeah.
Before we get,
it does something for your blood flow.
I got to give I want to give it. It's a shout out, but at the same time, it's really negative because DirecTV.
It's still down.
DirecTV. Hey man. I wanted to see Florida State get their ass beat last night. Instead, what I had to do was look at the updates on ESPN because y'all tripping with Disney. Y'all do this every time before football season. But I got something for you. I know I don't mean that much to you, but I got something for you. I'm about to get the hell on. I'm going to YouTube. That's what it's going to happen. Because that's where we at, people. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Lo. We on YouTube. Guess what? I'm going on over to YouTube TV. Here I come. Direct TV. I need to start a hashtag. F Direct TV. You know what I'm saying?
Count your days.
Okay. Whew. All right, because I promise you that was bothering me. It's been bothering me for the last couple of days.
Glad you let it out. You look a lot better now.
Yeah. Got a special guest here, man. Been trying to get her here for a couple of weeks and everything. You know, this young lady got so much to talk to y'all about. This is Gracie Martinez in the building. How you doing, young lady?
Hey, what's up? Que lo que? Dímelo.
Oh, damn.
You know I gotta put my little Dominican spice on it.
Okay.
No doubt.
Well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and ask you not to do this. Do not look me in my eyes and call me Poppy. I'm just going to put that out there right now.
I don't know why you thought I would, but
Hey, I'm just saying,
that's
you know,
type of level.
I'm just putting that out there because that's so it's
That's
dangerous in my life. Yeah, just hold on to that.
I promise you I won't. I got you.
What was that movie with what was it called? The with Eddie Murphy did all them characters when the old lady says it makes me moist. you worry about getting moist.
I feel like he always did movies like that. What was the movie he did with Respucia?
Oh boy, it's just
Yeah,
Norbit,
he did a whole bunch of characters in that too, right?
that's too much. I'm already mad at DirecTV. I don't need that in my life right now.
Listen, I got you.
So I appreciate you, Gracie. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are
Hey,
you?
listen, I'm good. It is great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
You have, a lot. I didn't know that you had it. Angelo told me some other stuff today that you are, into. So we're gonna, you know what? We're just gonna dive right into it. You are a rugby player now, rugby coach. Go on, talk about that a little bit.
Professional rugby player.
Right. My bad. Yeah. Right. Professional. You know what I'm saying?
So I've been playing rugby for like 14 years now. It's been a while, yeah. I started off at Penn State. I tried to go try out for the softball team, and I did not make it. But the rugby coach saw me running bases, and he's like, hey, would you ever be interested in playing rugby? I'm like, I'm obviously a softball player. Like, there's nothing about me that likes contact, so no. He's like, well, we go to Europe every single year. And I'm like, I like to travel. I'm like, okay. So I ended up trying out and made the team. Ended up transferring over to Miami, kind of doing the same thing. They just had a brand new softball coach, so they weren't doing any tryouts. So somebody found out I played rugby, and they're like, hey, we have a club team here. You should come play. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm in Miami, not trying to gain any weight over here, trying to keep a nice little figure. So let me go play some rugby. So I did, and we ended up traveling here to play a playoff game. Ended up winning, and then the women's coach for Life University, where we were playing at, she came to talk to our team, and she's like, we're starting a brand new varsity team this year, which was kind of unheard of at the time. They're giving us scholarship, pretty much everything that a D1 athlete gets, we got, which again was super unheard of in the rugby world, especially for women. And I was almost graduated from college already. I was in my third year. So she's like, we'll give you a scholarship. And I'm like, I don't know. But I took the leap because that was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Sure.
And I believed in her program. I believed in what she wanted to do and for the sport as well. And I was like, okay, cool. I came and then spent 3 years there, had a ball. Our second year of the program, we got 2 national championships.
Wow.
And then we just been balling out ever since. The team, shout out to the team this year. They won nationals again.
Wow.
For 15s for the first time ever in the 10 years of the program now. So that's pretty major. Then when I graduated, I got offered to play on the national women's team for the Dominican Republic team, which was awesome for me. Even though I was born here in America, I'm first generation. My mom and dad are both Dominican. So it was an immense, opportunity and just to be asked to play for that
It's an
country.
honor, huh? Yeah.
Just to represent, my motherland and whatnot. And so I've been doing that since 2018. And then kind of transitioned to football and got a contract to play professionally. Then COVID hit, so that didn't work out. But then I started playing flag football. And then I missed rugby a little bit too much, so I came back to it. So now I'm representing the Dominican team again. And we have a really big tournament coming up in 2026. It's for the Central American and Caribbean Games. So it's kind of like their version of the Pan American Games or like an Olympics. So it's really, really major. It's going to be, Dominican Republic is hosting it. So that should be a lot of fun. But
Wow.
And then I just got a coaching job. A D1 head coaching job in Michigan. The paperwork hasn't fully gone through, so I can't drop the name yet.
Okay. All right.
But it should be dropping, if not tomorrow, by Thursday.
Congratulations. Get that applause, Dwayne.
Yes, sir. Hit that
That's phenomenal.
This weekend. So
Say
it was such a quick
literally.
thing.
button. Oh, wow. Glad
They
we got
called
you
me-
in here.
Right. They called me on Wednesday and they're like, hey, we heard that, you would be like a really good option to be a coach for this program. And I'm like, okay, where's it at? They're like, Michigan. I'm like, I don't think so. It is way too cold over there. I'm like, I'll help you guys find somebody. I seriously said no. And then they messaged me. They're like, hey, we'll pay for housing. They kind of sweetened up the pot. So I'm like, and the way it was lining up was just God was laying it at my feet. So
Right.
I just could not say no, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to take this leap of faith. I've been in Atlanta for 10 years now.
Okay.
I don't want to leave. Everything's popping off for me right now. And for my friends, it's a great time right now to be in Atlanta. But it's okay. I trust God and his plan for me. So I'm going to take that leap of faith.
Another leap of faith. That's awesome.
Congratulations on
So
that.
I did
for
not
real.
know that, when you just spilled out the whole history, so you weren't a lifelong rugby player. You saying this started off in college.
Mm-hmm.
So that lets you know you were obviously an athlete.
Hell of an athlete.
Yeah.
So what was your knowledge of rugby?
I didn't know anything about it.
Wow.
My cousin had played it, so that's all I knew. And I knew he always had shoulder problems. That's literally all I knew about rugby. I think I tried to pass the ball one time, when he was outside of the house, and I just couldn't do it. I'm like, what is this? It's oversized football. I can't even throw a regular football at that time. But yeah, so that's what I knew about rugby.
Wow.
I was not enticed to play at all, at all. But I heard Europe, and of course, the traveler in me was like, let's go.
Can't be mad at you about that one.
Yeah.
That's
interesting.
There's a lot of men out there watching this right now that knows about this rugby thing because during the Olympics, people tuned in a little bit more and they saw some of the rugby stuff, and a lot of men tuned into that. So once we come back, I want to get into the nuances and in regards to you you basically went from softball to rugby, which is totally, you don't hear of that too much. We'll talk about that, and also what it feels like to actually play for your country, because a lot of people don't know what that feeling is. So we're going to talk about that when we come back. Give us 2-3 minutes. We'll be right back. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet.
All right.
Don't waste it. Don't waste it.
Don't waste it. All right.
I'll start with, the word fate, right? Nothing brought me here but, the way things were supposed to happen. Because, as I said to you guys earlier, coming out of undergrad, I knew nothing about business, which is why I started working in management consulting as an undergrad. But I again, made time to work in finance. And then I worked in brand management. And then I worked in portfolio management. Then I actually started a company and invested in another. The investment was good. The startup failed. But then I, went into, security at Cisco. And, you know, I've always had this entrepreneurial spirit, which is why, you know, Larry and I were talking early on in my career. But, you know, the timing wasn't right. Every time I would want to spin out and do something on my own, you know, it just didn't work out for one reason or another. And so, you know, while we're dropping gems, that the other one there to pull out would be, don't be afraid to fail, because your failures often lead you to other paths you're supposed to be on.
Wow.
What's happening, people? We
Wow.
back, man, and we was talking about some rules in rugby, and she was just showing us some stuff.
I
Because,
just learned something.
I've always watched it, but this year, like I was telling her, I actually watched it and started Googling stuff of why they can do this, why they can do that, and she just showed us some stuff. So, hey, if y'all want to call in, man, I forgot to do this the first time. 404-500-1605.
1605.
God, boy, I'm telling you, man, you can tell I'm getting older. Yes, give us a call if you want to holler at this professional rugby player now coaching flag football.
No, rugby.
Rugby,
I mean,
rugby,
what
women's rugby.
was thinking about flag football, had a contract to play pro football, but the pandemic hit. There's a lot going on over here. So if you want to give a call in and have a question for it, please do that.
Talk to me boldly, talk to me nice. You heard?
But in regards to from softball to rugby, now I know the travel part came in and that piqued your interest, but going from softball to rugby, like you said it a minute ago, it's no contact to a whole bunch of contact. So did you know, you knew a little something about it, but how was that transition for you?
Honestly, it was a lot easier than I thought it would be, because any other sport that I played, so I played basketball and field hockey as well. And
Okay,
I would
you
always
ready.
foul out of basketball, like always foul out. I barely make it to the third quarter, like without a doubt. So once I started playing rugby, like tackling and all that stuff just came natural to me. You know, I grew up in New York with a Dominican mom, so there's a lot of pent-up anger that I had inside of me that I couldn't release. And it made me feel so powerful when
Really?
it's really weird to say, but I never, at that point in my life, I was pretty young. I didn't really feel like I had power at all. Whatever I tried, I was like, pretty decent at, but I never felt like I was like, like it fit, like it fit like a glove. And then I stepped onto the field, I hit somebody, and I didn't get in trouble.
How about
And
that?
I was like, wow, I like this. Like, ooh, let me get another hit. And then it just became kind of like intoxicating. Like it truly shows you the kind of power that you can have and that you hold, not only as a woman, just as a rugby player in general. But I just never been in a position where I was able to like show my power like that. And it just clicked. It literally was like rugby was waiting for me to just come to it.
Wow.
And that's one thing I really love about the sport. It's literally made for everybody, y'all. Like, whether you're tall, short, skinny, not so skinny, fast, slow, it doesn't matter. Like, there is a position for you on the field.
I've
and I
never
really loved it.
heard an athlete say it that way, though. It was like the sport was waiting for me to come to it.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Like I never felt like I really fit anywhere else where I was playing softball the most. But even sometimes it didn't feel like it was like this is what I'm meant to do. And then once I started playing rugby, I knew that's what I was meant to do. And then when I started getting on higher level, like playing at more elite levels, I was like, oh yeah, I like this. Like I love the almost like power that you get playing it, and not only playing it, but building up a program and making sure that we're doing good as good as our guy program, because our guys Life University's men program was #1 in the nation. So it was like a lot of pressure for the women's team. You know, we couldn't be scrubs.
Right.
Life has a great athletic program over there. They've been doing it for a long time, man.
Yeah.
Basketball, they've been crazy at it. Baseball, I mean, it's a lower level in regards to the NCAA, but they at whatever level they're at, they've been winning championships in a lot of different.
sure.
Yeah, that's for
What
sure.
kind of injuries have you endured in this sport?
Thank God, not many.
Okay.
The most major one would be I got surgery on my meniscus probably a couple days before our first game for the program, so that was like heartbreaking.
Right.
But honestly, it made me better. It made me so much stronger. It gave me the drive to just come back a lot stronger. And then the second one, one of my teammates, so you can't thumb tackle in rugby. Thumb tackling is like when you pick somebody up and then you kind of take them over your shoulder. So our hips could never really should never be above our shoulders ever.
Okay.
So we were in practice and one of my teammates ended up thumb tackling me. She didn't do it on purpose, but while she did it, I ended up spraining my AC right here, and it was a level 3. And it was probably 2 weeks before nationals.
Oh.
So I had to do, y'all, and this is how I know God is real. I had to do so much physical therapy and everything just to get on that national team roster, and I'm glad that I did because that was the first year that we won a national championship.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but that was probably the most severe
Gotcha.
injury I ever had, but he got me through it, so
That's what's up.
yeah.
You know she played with Santee, too. That's how they...
Yeah. She was
told you
telling us
about that.
about it,
Okay.
before.
Shout out to
before
my
we got
best
going.
friend Santee at Track
Yeah,
Baby.
So how did
Frank is so
weight
stupid. Frank is talking about,
training-
can she demonstrate a rugby tackle on Angelo? No, sir, she cannot.
Yes, let's do it. I'm a tackle specialist. Let's
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
crazy.
go. Clear the table.
Clear the table.
Oh man, that's funny.
The way my joints are set up.
I'll put you down nicely. Don't worry.
the way my birth date is set up, and it can't change. Ain't nothing that can change about. I don't care how much I work out.
That
The
was a
birth
solid
date stays the same.
That's
So in regards to weight training and stuff like that, how did that change for you from softball to
To rugby. Softball, man, that was night and day. Softball, you just do basic, just squats and, just basic lifts. In rugby, it's so dynamic because it's a mixture of football and soccer, primarily, a little bit of other sports, but your training is so dynamic. It's so different every single time because there's so many different movements in rugby. You have to be able to be on offense and defense at any given time. So there's a lot of movements when it comes to being able to transition to that. And I never trained like that before. But that also was addicting. It was so addicting to lift weights heavier than what I weighed. I'm like, why? I've never done this before. We literally walk down the street and size people and be like, I can squat you. I can squat you.
See, everybody
And
ain't
that's
built
just
that
the
way.
confidence that it gives you.
She's different. Everybody ain't built that. Listen,
right.
I know some of y'all out there right now thinking about, well, maybe I can do rugby. Listen to what she's saying, all right?
You can.
Listen to what she's saying. Hey, they can try. But listen to what this young lady is saying. It's addictive, and this is something that was waiting on her.
Right.
Think about that. You got to think about it. If you're just trying to get in shape, okay, I get it. But everybody can, don't want to crush anyone's dreams. But please understand, she's different.
Yeah, no doubt.
But
she's
you can
different.
You can do it too, though. You really
You
can.
can do
Like,
it.
If there's any sport in this world, it's rugby. You can easily do it. I
I
promise
don't
you.
know what else. I
Don't be deterring these people.
I done seen so them folk get ran slap over out there.
Guys, I done seen some people come onto the team, and I'm like, you have no business. And
Right.
this is the reason why I don't do this anymore. I'm like, you have no business being on the field. And then the proper training and like leadership, man, they on the USA team now.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, it like, and I'm not biased, but it really allows you to develop in so many different ways. And it's the confidence. Like, I didn't have much confidence before. And I think rugby like really allowed me to gain that confidence through
Okay.
the little things that I wasn't able to do before.
Yeah.
And it really like transfers over into a lot of other places in my life off the field.
That's
So,
dope. That's dope.
So since you mentioned people on the USA team, since you have been on a team to represent your country, how does that feel? I mean, how does it feel to, we see it and we hear, Olympic athletes saying, it's great to have the USA across my chest, and when I stand up there, yada, yada, yada. But now we're sitting here actually looking at someone that's actually done it.
Yeah.
So how does that actually feel? It's one thing to make the team, but then when you're actually out there and recognize, wow, I'm representing everybody in my country. How does that feel?
Man, it's such an honor. You would think it's a lot of pressure, but it's really not. Like, I'm just honored to be able to represent my family and my ancestors. So yeah, it's just, regardless of whether we win or not, I give it my all because of that flag on my chest. It hits a little bit different than what I feel when I play for my local teams here, or any like semi-professional teams here. It's a different type of feeling. Like, the pride hits different. Like, I have to make that tackle because it's for my country.
Yeah.
When I play here, it's just like, I got my teammates and it's for my team. And sometimes you just have it and you don't. But when it's for my country, like, I always have it. You know what I
like it.
mean? Like,
Sure.
I don't ever want to let my country down or my parents down or anything like that, which I don't think me losing, I could. But still, I just want to perform as best as I can.
Speaking of your parents, how was that transition? How acceptance was your family to when you say, "Hey, I'm about to play rugby"?
Right.
That was it. She just did not understand. Like, they barely know what rugby is. She's looking at it as if it's football, and I was playing football as well. So she's just like, I don't understand you. Like, you have a college degree. Like, you're very smart. Just go into the corporate world and just do this. And I'm like, nah. I mean, I work in the corporate world as well, but that's just not for me. Like, I just love playing rugby. I love doing this, and it was always such a battle with her. She's always like, because when I first got out of college, I didn't work in the corporate field, so I was waitressing and bartending. Sometimes that's a hard life financially. So she's just like, you're making it harder for yourself. Like, you have a degree, get a good job, stop playing rugby. You're not in college anymore. And it was always a fight with her. But then she never has seen me play. And this was probably my 8th year mark where I was playing rugby. She had never seen me play a game. And we had a game in New York, finally. So I asked if she would come watch, and she pretty much brought the whole family out. And man, I bawled out. I was like, I have to. This is my one chance. My mom is never down. I have to, but I also have to make sure that I don't get
Right,
Right.
she's gonna drag me off the field. Right here. I'm like, let's go. And man, I'm super glad that she came and she was able to support, because after that, she just changed her whole mentality on it. She was able to see how strong I was, despite what she learned, because she grew up in a different country in a different time. Women weren't really told how much power they had and what they could do.
Sure.
They had a certain role to play. And so, although I totally respect that, that times are different, and I don't really want to play that role. Although it's a very important role to play, it's just not my role. And I think
Gotcha.
she finally got it after seeing me play.
I have a question here. In your honest opinion, how have you seen rugby's influence in other sports, if any?
How is rugby influencing other sports right now?
Yeah, in your opinion.
Well, I think the main like the Olympics this year, right? Rugby went crazy.
Yeah, it
For the
did.
first time ever, they had 66,000 people watching. That is ridiculous,
Yeah.
y'all. Like, yeah, I know you guys don't know anything about numbers, but that's a lot.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
for
Like,
rugby.
I was locked in. I promise you.
Like that,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know necessarily what it's doing for other sports before, but now I feel like it's about to shake up the whole entire sports community because everybody's seeing how people can really fit into that sport. It's not like basketball where like you have to be tall. Like if us shorties can't
Right.
necessarily, I can't play the WNBA, probably not, you know? But I think it's changing sports now where it's truly showing people the different skills that you can contribute to the sport. And then not only that, the team culture. Rugby, one reason why I really love rugby is because of the team culture. I've never been a part of a team where they value like how much team, I keep repeating it, but team culture is, like how important it is. Like they'll have the captain sweeping up the locker rooms, like picking up after the games, just the way that we talk to each other and all that stuff. After you spend 80 minutes wanting to kill somebody on the opposite side of you, right? And then once we're done, we'll go to a bar, which this is typical rugby culture. You'll find a bar or a pub, and everybody will just drink. We'll sing rugby rugby songs, and it's just like a brotherhood. Like you just talk to a person who you just literally were lighting up for 80 minutes on the field,
Right.
and then you guys see that you guys are so connected. You guys, we're so much alike. We're so similar than we are separate, and I do not see that in any other sport right now. But I'm starting to see different team cultures change, and I'm not sure if that's because of rugby. I would like to think so, but I would say maybe that's not answering your question fully, but I would love to see
I
that
think so,
in
yeah.
other sports. I would love to see sports put team culture
Absolutely.
on the forefront, especially like with football and stuff. We see in basketball, we see a lot of like rivalry. Why?
That's kind of like what we did in flag football, except we didn't sing songs.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Way
though,
back in the
y'all.
day, though. It was way back. Because now these guys cannot.
These young guys
They can't stand each other.
They're a little bit
Songs
different.
Came from? So rugby was created in England, and they love drinking over there.
Yes.
And in the pubs, they be singing songs over there.
Yeah.
So that's like the
Slamming
culture.
the stuff together.
Yeah,
And
seriously, like imagine that. That's exactly what it is. And so that's where the songs came from. And it sounds like weird, but it truly like connects you because even I could go to New Zealand and go to a pub and start singing a rugby song. And then
Oh, wow.
somebody who I've never met before will start singing the same exact song, and now we're connected.
okay.
And that to me
That's
is
dope.
super beautiful.
Yeah, that's dope.
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So I want to segue real quick because I had the opportunity to talk with you at the panel and see you on the panel at the conference a couple weeks ago, and you spoke about the mental health side of athletes, and so I just and you were talking about how you absorbing all this stuff as athletes and then have to come back out. You know what I mean? So talk about that a little bit and how you've dealt with that.
mental health and being an athlete, it gets super sticky sometimes. You go through like levels. I think the biggest, and I know Santia talked about this as well on her panel, the biggest struggle for me was kind of like an ego death. And the period was after I graduated college, probably like 2 years after I was playing with Dominican Republic, around COVID. I ended up getting like surgery on the back of my calf muscle. I tore it open, and after that, I kind of just stopped. I couldn't. Rugby kind of stopped here for COVID, so then that kind of got me really depressed. But then I was playing football, but I don't know. I didn't feel right. I had to come back to rugby, but the ego death was more so knowing that I'm not who I was before, and that's okay, because that doesn't mean that I can't be way better now than I was before. I'm just not that player anymore. I'm not who I was in college. And so mentally, I had to come to terms with that and just look at it in a different perspective, where you're not as good as you used to be. I'm just not that player anymore, but honestly, I'm probably a lot better now. Like, I'm a lot stronger. I might not be as fast as I used to be, but I'm a lot smarter.
That's the part I was looking for,
Yeah,
right
the
there.
passion is
Yeah.
even stronger than what it was before.
Right.
And so, yeah, the mental, it's hard, especially coming out of college and then going into the real world. It's like you're a civilian again. You know, me and my friends joke around and we call each other muggles. Like, I don't know if you guys watch Harry Potter or not, but like, that's what they call the people that aren't, like, don't have magic. They're like, yeah, you're a muggle. So, that's what we call people who aren't, like, athletes. But it's all for fun or whatever. But we're like, oh my God, I feel like such a muggle right now. Like,
Is it for fun?
it is. Because listen, you don't have to be an athlete to be awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
We'll talk on later.
hey, love.
You know, people like to tussle, so I ain't trying to get into no fights over here.
Does that make us muggles? since we're
No, you guys.
We don't play, we coach.
no, we're coaching.
So I'm a coach now too.
We used to play, but we ain't got that magic no more.
Listen, you guys are in the alumni network, so you guys will never be muggles.
Okay, all right, we muggle juniors.
Right. Nah, but just joking. Like, it really does
my
feel
God,
like you're a civilian.
muggles.
It's almost. I'm not trying to compare our plight to like military people either, because
Right.
there's no comparison at all. But it's more so like you're in this environment where you're kind of like the SHIT. You know, like
Yeah.
for most players, you're getting all this attention. You know what you're doing. You get that structure. Then you come out of it, and you're like, who am I? Who am I outside of rugby? And I struggled with that a lot because, again, playing rugby for 14 years, sometimes, like, you forget that you're more than that. Like, that was almost my entire identity at one point.
How much you? I didn't see the call. How much time we got? Rick? All right, so Rick, three things because you just gave me another one. In regards to the military, you're right. You shouldn't compare, but at the same time, there is a similarity to it. Yeah, you wasn't the shit in the field that you was in, but you was in a field that required a certain personality trait that now you can't use when you come out. So it's a mental health issue there also. The other thing was you said that you told us the serious injuries that you had.
Yeah.
But then you just said you had surgery on the back of your calf muscle,
Oh.
like that was a clipped fingernail. So just want to let you know that's pretty serious also. And then the last thing before we go to break, I talked about, playing for your country and everything, and I didn't get to say it. Y'all didn't see it, or maybe you did, but you could see the difference in you speaking about it compared to when you were speaking earlier, how you really take it to heart.
The pride exudes.
Yeah, you could see it.
Yeah.
You could actually see when you were speaking about it what it meant to you to play for your country. So that was dope to see that because again, like I said, we see it on TV, we hear people talk about it and everything, but to actually see somebody that's actually did it, sitting here with us and able to show us that emotion from it, because I saw it coming, but you
I tried. I tried to keep it back now.
you leaned back a little bit, then you came in. So, people, it's real, man. The spirit of playing for your country is real. We've seen it right here. Once we come back, we're going to talk about the mental health thing a little bit more. Then we actually going to get into some football and talk about who we think is going to be whatever they're going to be this year. As you see, I got my Giants hat on and my Giants bracelet.
New York,
This is the best time I can wear it because, usually later. Well, we'll talk about that when we come back. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Lo.
And ask a cop.
There we go. Got one more time, dog. We ain't saying your name no more.
Do people ever say anything to you here? Welcome.
Start with the word fate, right? Like nothing brought me here but the way things were supposed to happen, because as I said to you guys earlier, coming out of undergrad, I knew nothing about business, which is why I started working in management consulting as an undergrad. But I again made time to work in finance, and then I worked in brand management, and then I worked in portfolio management. Then I actually started a company and invested in another. The investment was good, the startup failed, but then I went into security at Cisco. And, I've always had this entrepreneurial spirit, which is why, Larry and I were talking early on in my career, but, the timing wasn't right? Every time I would want to spin out and do something on my own, it just didn't work out for one reason or another. And so, while we're dropping gems, that the other one there to pull out would be, don't be afraid to fail, because your failures often lead you to other paths you're supposed to be on.
You ain't got to say his name this time.
Thor.
All right, we are back.
Thor
we
and
are
Asgard.
back.
That must be a what was that show? Thor and Asgard. That must be the show you're talking
One of
about.
them shows. We back, y'all. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Low.
Not this time. Okay.
We're gonna do it next time. We good right now. We're gonna keep moving on this thing. Like I said before we left, we was gonna talk about her expertise in regards to mental health, and y'all was having a conversation during the break. Go ahead and.
Well, I just want her to kind of talk a little bit more. But she had mentioned about what she does with the players and coaches and what you weren't getting from coaches before. I just kind of want you to talk about that a little bit.
Okay. So I've been a youth rugby coach for like 8 years now. And I've coached a whole bunch of other teams. And like one thing that I try to really focus on is like talking about mental health and how that affects us in many different ways. And mostly because I never really got that when I was, in college. We got it like maybe our last year, which then really taught me how important it was, not only like in my personal life, but in my physical game for rugby. Just being able to look at things in a different perspective and all that. And so I took that, and I want to make sure that I give that to everybody else, because it's so important to know that it's okay to not be okay sometimes. You don't have to be perfect. I know we look at these professional athletes like LeBron James and all them, and from the outside looking in, it looks like they have a great life and they never struggle. But I promise you that man goes through mental health issues sometimes. You just playing at an elite level, you go through it, like in so many different ways. So it's just important to know how to navigate through that, so that you don't burn out or ultimately leave the sport that you love because you don't know how to manage your mental health.
That's real.
Yeah.
Now, in regards to that, I know you said you was teaching at the youth level. How is it teaching that to youth that already feel that they probably already feel they're invincible? So how is it to get that note to them to where they can take it serious enough to prepare themselves for later in life, that type of deal?
Just giving them my testimony, because I can only talk about myself, and just letting them know, like, the things that I've been through. I used to think that I was like hot shit too, walking, and it wasn't until one of my friends kind of like checked me and made me start taking accountability for certain things, where I started actually seeing like who I was. And so with these younger kids, it's just more so being able to connect to them in a way where they can hear you. They already have these parents at home telling them they can't do this, they can't do that, don't be running in here, don't be touching this. So I just try to come to them in a way where they'll understand me, and I'm not like yelling at them or like directing them to do something or to like listen to me. It's just like having a conversation like we're almost friends. Like, you know, let me talk to you. Like, I see that you're kind of like being a little like pompous, like, you know, you have a big head when it comes to this or whatever. And I get it, but like coaches are not going to want to put you on your team if you're going to have a bad attitude, if you're always going to complain about people not passing you the ball or you not being able to score or you not playing. No coach is going to want that. So once you start breaking it down into like futures, like how it's going to affect their future, then they start understanding. Because I have a lot of kids that are like complain about them kids not passing them ball. Like they will like almost cry on the corner, and I get it. I understand they're young, the emotions, but then I'm like, hey, nobody's gonna want you to play on their team if you're gonna handle it like this. It's okay to be emotional, but to be upset and yell at people because you're not getting the ball passed to you, like, come on, dude. And then they get it and they correct themselves, they self-correct, and as a coach, that's all I want. You know, like.
Wow.
So.
Now are you prepared for that adjustment from the youth to adults, basically, with this?
Yeah. So I've coached collegiate level before.
Okay.
I just never been a head coach. I coached at Kennesaw State University.
Okay.
And I actually really love coaching collegiate women because they're at a level where, especially if it's a newer program, they're at a level where they're willing to be molded. They're not at the women's level where it's kind of hard to like mold a woman who's been playing like 8+ years habits. But these women, some of them have just started playing in college. So, and the passion that they have is just like, they just want to learn. And I'm like, all right, I have so much knowledge to drop. So let's go, let's do this. So I'm really excited. But most of all, I'm just excited to be a safe space for my players.
Oh, wow.
Be everything that
Good stuff.
I needed
That's
as a young
major
athlete.
dope right
Good
there.
stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Now, I have to ask this because is rugby, is it a full scholarship sport? Is it a partial scholarship sport? Or is it a sport where you get to college and you can earn a scholarship?
All of the above.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it depends on the program that you go to. At Life University, when I personally went, we had most of our scholarship paid for. And then there was like a small portion of it that wasn't, if I remember correct. Oh, actually, no, our whole entire scholarship was paid for. Housing wasn't paid for.
Okay.
But housing was very cheap, maybe like $200 a month, which for a university, that's amazing because they be hitting you on the head with that. Like,
Right. Facts.
But, yeah.
So is you got me on this rugby, going down this hole now. But high school is it? I haven't heard of rugby in high school. Is that big in high
It's
school?
blowing up now, especially in Georgia. They have a couple teams here now too. Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's
I had no idea.
especially with the USA Women's winning bronze this year in the Olympics. Which shout out to the USA Women's team. Woo, woo.
Yeah.
I have some friends on there, and I have some former teammates that were on the Olympic
Is that
team
right?
as well. So super proud of you guys for pushing the sport forward. But because they did that, now the interest in rugby is peaking. So you see a lot more colleges in high school adding programs. Which
Wow.
to me is amazing. And a lot of college programs that have been playing, now they're going up in level. They're moving from like D2 to D3 to now D1
Wow.
to give more competition. So
And what time of year is rugby played?
year round, baby.
Is it really?
Yeah. So there's different forms. There's sorry.
Like, when is that season? Because I'm trying to.
Year round. So you could literally watch it year round. So sevens is what you guys saw in the Olympics. It's 7 versus 7 for 14 minutes. And that's typically in the summer, like spring, summer time. And then you have your 15 versus 15s, which is an 80-minute game. It's 2 40-minute halves. And that is typically like from your
So-
fall to your winter.
Okay.
But it's a lot of fun. 15s,
She's-
15s is like a lot more hitting.
She
that.
said 2
Sevens is
40-minute
more like
halves.
Finesse, fast, quick game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you will see some heavy hits in 15s. You think football? You get some good hits in football? Honey, watch rugby, and you won't like squirm because they're like safe hits. You know?
Right.
So,
Safe hits.
yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot
because
safer.
a lot of them got a lot of those players get up and start for the next play. It's crazy some of the hits that you see happen out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
And they actually get up and get ready for the next play. And I'm like, God, how did they take that hit?
So in rugby, once you get subbed out, you can't go back in. So that's why you'll see stuff like that. People are literally fighting tooth and nail to stay on the field.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. So you'll see. Let's compare it to soccer. Like when somebody gets like hit in soccer, they'll do like all these theatrics, like my leg type thing. And then in rugby, you'll see somebody like bandaged up with like blood gushing out of the side of their head, and they still want
But
to.
still want to stay in.
Yeah. So that's the kind of like mentality. Just even that makes you like think differently as a player. Like as an athlete, when I play other sports, now I'm like whatever it takes. Like I'm going until I can't go, and rugby taught me that. I never had that until I started playing rugby, and I've been playing sports my entire life. So
Wow.
yeah, it's crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you see your passion for it though.
Yeah.
It's
I
crazy.
love it.
You can see
Yeah.
it.
It like
Yeah.
it truly has like changed my life, y'all.
Yeah.
Like physically,
Hey.
mentally, everything.
Well,
It's
that
so
school
good.
that can't be mentioned just yet, y'all about to get a gym. Y'all don't even know it. You're about to get a
Absolutely.
coach, but I'm telling you, you're about to get a gym because she has got some passion about this thing.
Serious passion for it. That's dope.
Sitting
wanna-
here
Dope.
looking at her as she talk about it, yeah.
Yeah, you can see it light up. Yeah.
I wanna make a difference in the rugby world. I don't know how I'm gonna do that yet, but I wanna be a disruptor. I wanna be a catalyst, and I'm gonna work towards that. So
Starting, right? I mean, you
I
probably
like it.
started a while ago, but it's a continuation tonight,
Yeah.
man. 'Cause I guarantee there's some people in our audience.
Your
that's
players feed off your energy,
going
man. You
to
got
look
something
off.
special
Oh,
going.
yeah.
listen,
Yeah.
I'll say this: being a Dominican, I went to boarding school, so I went to school in Pennsylvania, Hershey, PA. At
Oh,
that.
wow.
So I grew up around a lot of dynamics that I was not used to. So there was a lot of times where I never felt like I fit in. Like, and even when I go to DR, sometimes I'm not Dominican enough. You know, when I'm here, I'm Afro-Latina, I'm in Atlanta, I'm around a lot of, you know, like our black community. Sometimes people are like, yeah, you're not black enough. I'm like, okay. I go to my white friends, you're not white enough. So it's like, where do I fit, rugby?
Wow.
And that's why I have
Rugby.
Wow.
No, seriously.
No, that's
I really
real.
feel
I can
like
see
God,
that.
like delivered me, and that's why I said I feel like the sport was waiting for me because I've never felt so accepted. Don't get me wrong, I've been through my trials and tribulation playing this sport as well, but like, I just feel like I belong. No matter what space, either whether I'm a player, coach, or referee, like it just always feels like I belong on the field. So
Hey,
That's
man,
good stuff.
y'all need to
That's
keep,
good stuff.
keep your eye on this lady.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
I'm telling you something.
That's
Keep your
good
eye
stuff.
on this lady, and it just goes to show for all of you that's out there going through something that you feel like you don't fit, use it to your advantage. Learn from it. Learn how to navigate. Learn how to move, and use it, you know, for motivation to find what you're actually supposed to be, where you're supposed to be at. Rugby was literally waiting on her, as you heard her say.
she
There's
said.
something waiting on you. I don't know, somewhere there's something waiting on you. So we're gonna use that. Man, I could keep talking about this rugby forever. You got some,
Me too.
You got some questions up there?
Now everybody just complimenting her.
Hey, I
did you
ain't-
guys get to watch rugby during the Olympics?
Oh yeah.
What did y'all think? What was
I loved it.
What was the most shocking factor for you guys?
Just how they ran football over. I mean, you know, just the speed of the game. I didn't watch a lot of it. I watched a lot of the highlights and clips, but just the speed of the game and the contact. I was just, it was just amazing to me.
Like
It was
what
real.
you showed me earlier, it took me a minute to figure that out. Why they was? I thought it was a play just that team did. I was like, yo, that was crazy. Then I saw the other team do it. I'm like, wait, so this is something that
regular
everybody
thing.
does.
Yeah, that happens when the ball goes out of bounds.
I thought it was just something that one team had. And I was like, yo, that was crazy. You know, they couldn't get it to him, so they threw him up in the air where nobody else could get it.
Like it's crazy.
I really want to see one live, you know, because
Yeah.
like with hockey, for example, Frank is on here. You know what I mean? I never would watch hockey on TV. It's not, but when I see it live, I was just amazed. You know what I mean? So I really think I want to see rugby. I've never
do.
seen it live before.
I want to see
They
it
have a whole
live.
bunch of teams
Yeah.
here. I can send you guys like schedules.
Please.
If you guys
Yeah,
ever
yeah. I want
go
to see it
check
live.
out.
That'd be dope.
I would
Yeah,
love
yeah.
to.
Because I
You guys
don't
will
understand.
really like
I don't understand all the rules and all that. You know what I mean? But I want to see it live. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you guys will have a blast.
Yeah, I think
Hop
so.
on YouTube and like just Google the rules real quick.
Yeah.
They're super easy to understand for the most part, and then go watch a game. Like
Yeah, that's what I think I want to do.
Yeah.
Have to get a better understanding.
They got stars just like they're doing soccer. They was talking about them while they was doing it in the Olympics. This guy's this, and this female is this, and she's the this, and I was like, yo, they actually, yeah, it was
That's cool.
Did
Yeah,
y'all
it's
see
pretty
the
dope to watch.
USA women's rugby player Alana
This guy
Meir?
Frank, man.
She's on Sports Illustrated cover now.
Really?
Yeah, she's the first female rugby player to be on Sports Illustrated.
Impressive.
She was talking about like
my
body
Google
positivity and all that.
Oh, that's
She's
dope.
the one rugby player that you saw like with the lipstick on, probably the most throughout the whole entire
Yeah.
Olympics. Yeah, so she's doing really great things for women's rugby. I'm really really proud of her and commend her. Thank you.
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Seriously.
She's gonna send us a link. Let's see, where can we go to watch? We're gonna send a link for the local
Everybody
stuff.
asking now. See, I told you making change already,
So
man.
if you guys look up USA
making
Rugby
change
or
already.
Flow Rugby, FLO Rugby, you guys will get a whole bunch of rugby games. And Peacock, the streaming app,
Yeah.
they play a whole bunch of rugby. There's
Really?
there's
Okay.
a professionals league in America that they stream, and they stream college games too. ESPN streams them sometimes as well.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope. And when you get your job that we don't mention yet, make sure you send us a schedule so that we can
Oh, for sure.
check you out.
Of course.
Yeah, we'll be.
results out on the
Yeah,
show.
we'll be like,
Yeah,
look at
but
Grace on the sideline getting on the play.
Right. Y'all gonna see. Y'all like,
Look at her. Oh, she's consoling us. She's giving us some mental health tips. Right now, look at her. She's giving mental health tips.
I'm not yelling. I'm just talking about mental health in a very passionate way.
That'd be dope. That'd be dope.
Oh boy, that was good.
Yeah, it makes me so happy that you guys are talking about rugby.
Yeah.
There was a point in time where I would tell people I played rugby, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's the sport with the sticks, right?" I'm like, "No, that's lacrosse or hockey. I don't know hockey. There's
Right.
a lot of sports that could be, but
Definitely not rugby.
it's nice to see how much a lot of people like know what the sport is just by the name of it. Now.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like you said, I don't know what it was about this past Olympics, but it just seemed as if, I don't know if it was because of the time that they were showing it, but it just seemed like more people were tuned into it this year.
Yeah.
You know, you go on social media and you start seeing people saying stuff about such and such, man, she killed it or he killed it. Did you see that hit? I was like, wow, a lot of people, it just seemed like this past Olympics, a lot of people, and it could be the time slot, you know, that they actually showed it, because a lot of times I think rugby in the past was like tape delayed and showed later instead of being showed at 3 o'clock in the afternoon here in America. I saw a lot of it. You know, it was females
I
and
definitely
the
agree with
men.
you on that. 'Cause the men's played before the start of the Olympics. Their like finals was right after the
right
opening
after
ceremony.
the open ceremony.
But then the women played right after. They literally, I don't know who did this, but you're right. That was genius placement for the sport. It was right after the opening ceremonies, and so everybody's watching at that point. And I mean, as you guys see, rugby is a pretty entertaining sport, so it doesn't have to take much for people to want to actually
keep
watch
watching it, right.
It's just like actually putting it at a time where people are going to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even with soccer can get boring. It's a bunch of kicking to the other side and some back to the other side, and every now and then there's a hit. But in rugby,
You blink, you might just miss something also.
it's a hit every time. And you know, flag football players, they should have gotten a kick out of it because of the lateral pitches and all of that type stuff. But let me ask you this, because we're not gonna, people don't worry about the football picks. We ain't getting into
Hey,
it.
I'm laughing at you, man.
We done got caught up. We done got caught up in the rugby.
Hey, you got my internal laugh. I'm glad you said it.
Yeah, we done got caught up in this rugby thing. We ain't picking. Yeah, such and such gonna be in the Super Bowl. We'll talk about that. But
The Chiefs.
you know, but let me ask you, when they were scoring, there was a certain way or a certain place they was diving into the. I'm calling it the end zone. I don't know what that.
It's called the tri-zone.
Tri-zone. Okay, they was diving in there, but trying to get between the goalposts instead of on the outside of it. What was that for?
So the difference between football, like when you guys score, it doesn't matter where you guys catch the ball. You'll always kick the ball from the middle, right? in rugby, you kick the ball up to 22 meters out from wherever you touch the ball down on the ground. So the goal is to do it underneath the uprights, but sometimes that doesn't happen. So you have people scoring on the outside.
I said, why are they running over there? The goal line was right here.
Yeah.
And they would take off and run this way.
To
And
give
I was trying to figure that
a better
out.
opportunity to make the kick.
Wow.
And then the whole drop kick thing.
Yeah. So
Whoever thought
incentives-
drop kicks would actually be real? Because we did it as kids.
They are so hard too. Like,
Drop kick is where you take the ball and it hits
Drop
the
it.
ground
And you
and
kick
then
it.
you kick it.
Yeah.
And we did that as kids.
just
Just
to do it.
Yeah, just to do it. And now it's actually what they do. And it's, what is it? Is it 10 yards at the
Up to 22 meters. Yeah.
They have to kick
I
that
don't know
thing
if you
through.
saw, but like sometimes obviously people score on the sidelines, like on the
Yeah.
side, and people be making those kicks
Yeah.
in, y'all,
Yeah.
like bending like Beckham type thing.
Yeah.
Like that is so hard.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. I have a feeling you're going to start seeing some NFL players
Crossovers.
or college players that don't make it to the NFL cross over to rugby as
hope
you're
so.
seeing the NFL has some type of program where they actually get
Rugby players.
rugby players. It's like
The Chiefs had a
Yeah, they
rugby
signed
player
somebody, yeah.
signed. I think they just recently released him. Don't
They
quote me
signed him
on
for
that.
the new kickoff rules because they felt
Yeah.
like they could
Yeah.
navigate better.
Yeah, he has a sick kick, but he's also a dope tackler as well.
Mm.
I think it's a great
tackling kicker. How about that?
Like, yeah, but that's what rugby is because you have to know it all.
You got to do it all, right?
I mean, I'm not a kicker. That's not one of the skills that I personally have to know. But most everybody has to know how to tackle and all that. So like, and he's a kicker, so now he tackles and kicks, which is amazing to be for a football program.
Right.
Because now you can use them both ways.
Both
Right.
ways.
Right.
Right.
So the crossover for a lot of sports, I think, is amazing for rugby.
I could see some defensive ends that don't make it in the NFL going to rugby.
Rugby.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll tell y'all, if y'all play football right now and y'all don't make it to the NFL, go play rugby.
Come to rugby, like Death Row.
You
New
have
Suge
such a
Knight.
high chance. No, seriously, you have such a high chance. You have had such a high chance of like actually making the Olympic team, because a lot of the skills that you learn in football are so like transferable in rugby,
yeah.
and vice versa. That's one reason why I tell a lot of parents to put kids in rugby young.
Mm.
It teaches you how to tackle correctly, so you don't have to worry about CTE and concussions. Well, I won't. That's not a definite. That's not a
Right,
definite,
right.
but it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. It's decreased a lot, and then it just teaches them a lot of skills that they can use in other sports. It teaches you how to drop. It teaches you how to like sprint, how to tackle, how to read the field, which you can literally use in any other sport. So it's so beneficial for other sports. So yeah, get your kids in rugby.
All right, man. Good deal. Good deal.
about to recruit the whole
listen,
world.
Real quick, let me just read these real quick. Frank said they used to play tournaments in my front yard when I was at the Naval War College. Tournaments were at Fort Adams State Park.
That was called Smear the Queer.
Ooh,
He's still talking about waiting on the demo on Angelo. Not gonna happen. Ben said, I thought a drop kick is when you come out the top rope in wrestling. You can go ahead and break out of that. The drop kick.
Hey,
he
listen.
said that kind of is like a drop kick. People be like, I'm a drop kick.
Right. That's right.
Hey,
funny.
listen. We've heard a voice from far in the darkness. You probably heard it in the background, but we have a surprise for you when we come back. We're gonna come back.
I don't have to use my third one.
We're gonna let y'all know how to follow this young lady. We're gonna let y'all know how to follow this young lady, and we're also gonna get into the top 5. We'll be right back. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo.
Let's go.
I heard it again.
I'll start with the word fate, right? Like nothing brought me here, but the way things were supposed to happen. Because as I said to you guys earlier, coming out of undergrad, I knew nothing about business, which is why I started working in management consulting as an undergrad. But I again, made time to work in finance, and then I worked in brand management, and then I worked in portfolio management. Then I actually started a company and invested in another. The investment was good. The startup failed. But then I, went into, security at Cisco. And, I've always had this entrepreneurial spirit, which is why, Larry and I were talking early on in my career. But, the timing wasn't right? Every time I would want to spin out and do something on my own, it just didn't work out for one reason or another. And so, while we're dropping gems, that the other one there to pull out would be, don't be afraid to fail, because your failures often lead you to other paths you're supposed to be on.
Boston has a lot of teams too. Boston,
Yeah.
There's some good rugby up there.
Man, that's awesome. You should get back out there. We have a whole bunch of men's team you can play for.
Yeah, MJ. Get back out there.
There's another thing that you didn't mention too. That's why.
See it, just the camera to you.
Listen, y'all. I said this in the past. This show is live, man. Stuff happens. Stuff
He
happens.
adjusted the whole camera for him. He did good move.
It happens.
This man move it.
There's. I mean, if somebody moves, it's because they just wanted to.
It was a good conversation.
It's a straight line for real. Oh man, I'm almost in tears.
Yeah, but
Listen, you just literally like impressed me. Like, I'm so wow. That's
yeah, but
awesome.
it's amazing because like I heard you on there. I said, oh man, I wish I was there. Because the thing that rugby has that American football doesn't have, it's like everybody plays like touch football. But in Australia and all the major countries, South Africa, New Zealand, all over Europe, France has a good side. It's where from you have first, and it's pretty much like schoolboys. And then it goes all the way up, and then they have the old boys team, which is normally 6, which is where a mixture, it's like the guys that used to be good and they can still play. They're in their 40s and 50s still playing.
Yeah.
But that's why when you go to Australia, you rarely see fat people because of the level of competition that goes all the way up. And first is where they get their caps from. And their caps is when you represent your nation.
Internationally, yeah.
And so when I was in Jeff Gideon, and we had 2 guys that were capped for the Australian side, the Wallabies, from the side I played on in Australia. And the level, I'll just say this, and it's going to sound racist, but it's not. you have not seen fast white boys until you play rugby. It's
Yeah.
on another level. It's on another level.
Doesn't sound racist at all.
That just ties into
Sounds
the
like-
point of me
sounds like
saying
you giving
rugby's
them
for
props.
everybody.
Yeah.
It literally like
Lifting them up,
highlights.
Yeah,
actually.
it is. Yeah, it is. It's
Your
like you'd be
greatness.
amazed at it. But like I said, in the women's rugby, if you look at the New Zealand side, they're vicious.
Portia Woodman.
Yeah.
My
Okay,
goodness.
yeah.
She's literally a player that would like go into contact, pick somebody up on her shoulder,
then-
and keep running
Yeah.
while she has the ball.
Yeah.
Like she's retiring this year.
Okay.
R.I.P. to the great, but man, yeah.
Wow.
And a lot of people didn't look at it, but the American men almost made it in to medal qualifying, and that was just that's. I'm not gonna say it's a fluke, fellas, but the
They
best
got-
sides were there, and the American women when they beat Australia, that was crazy cool.
Yeah.
That was crazy
I'm so
cool.
happy that they
Yeah.
bronzed out this year. They
Yeah.
they medaled out. They haven't done that in 100 years.
Oh wow.
And they got $4 million committed to the program
But
from a
you-
donor because of that. So it's
Really?
going to be major for women's rugby.
It's good stuff.
Wow.
And they don't play 50 in a side, but do you know who won the first gold medal in rugby?
No, I don't.
America.
Really?
Very
First time it was in there was
In the World Cup?
Yeah. No, hell no, not
In the
World Cup.
Olympics?
Yeah, the Olympics was the
Oh,
first
okay.
time it was ever in there. But no, World Cup's on another level. We will never be anywhere near the podium medal.
Yeah, I was about to say, ooh,
That'd be 100 years. That'd be 100
Listen,
years.
the women are kind of close. I believe in the next 3-5 years.
Canada's playing us pretty tough too, though.
Yeah.
Canada, yeah.
Yeah, but we're right. I feel like we're right head and head with Canada.
Yeah.
Like Canada plays second this year.
Yeah.
It was New Zealand, Canada, USA.
And
And
Australia.
again, with the $4 million invested in the program, hopefully USA Rugby does something with it. You know what I'm saying?
Do the right thing.
There's no way that they shouldn't be beating Canada in 4 years. I have
Yeah.
high hopes, yeah.
Plus, it's a professional sports. They play it all over the world. France has some tight teams, but pretty much I follow the Harlequins.
Yeah.
England, yeah, I like the Harlequins, yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and
That's
they've
awesome.
had like Ellery, some of the greats from there. There's a lot of brothers that have made their name in it. The South African side, that was the first thing that integrated because New Zealand's always had the ink for being the best side, and Australia did good, but all that time during apartheid, they wouldn't let the South African side play international rugby.
Yeah.
So they went on tours, and I got to play against the South.
You know how amazing that is?
Yeah.
There's not many people that can say that. Like, that's
and
awesome.
I'll tell you what, for just pure strength, size, agility, and conditioning, if they ever took their hands at it, I think half the packs the group that that's the props, the hookers, the
Forwards.
second row,
You're big and-
forwards, yeah.
You're big and strong ones.
And so if they switched over to NFL football, and at some point they will.
Yeah.
They're gonna have some. It's just legendary the size of those guys, But like I said, we played Australia, and the thing about it, that was one of the first things that Nelson Mandela, when he integrated, that's one of the first things he integrated
Was rugby.
was soccer.
Really?
And if you follow rugby,
Yeah.
if you follow it, you know the importance of it because they had so many great black South African players that weren't able to play,
Yeah.
and it was a beautiful thing to watching the World Cup this year. Well, they've been in it for the last couple of years, but this year they were able to upset some teams that they didn't think they were going to beat.
Yeah.
And that last match was held, but there was black players and the captain for South Africa is black, and it wasn't one of those. Okay, we're going to put the black guy out there. The guy's a beast. It was
Yeah.
excellent. Yeah, so I put going on, but
All
I'm
right.
listening all the way.
MJ just showed us something now. Miss Gracie, go ahead and share your social media, how they can follow you and all that good stuff.
You guys, you can follow me. You can see it on the screen. Crema de leche.
Look right here. Look right here. That camera.
Where? Oh.
Right there.
You can follow me at Crema de Leche 2. So that's CREMA_DE_LECHE 2.
Crema de
And that's on
leche.
all social media.
Crema de leche.
Okay. All right. Gracie Martinez,
Yeah.
crema de leche. Now I gotta ask, what does crema de leche mean?
So it's a Dominican like dessert. It's a fudge.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
So
know
many
the
people
difference?
think it's
No,
so many
no,
different
they
don't.
things,
Oh,
y'all. Yeah, it's just
I
a
know.
dessert. It's like a fudge.
Caramel de leche is my favorite. Don't.
Dolce.
Well, that's caramel. Doggone
He said everything de leche.
Yeah. That's what it is. Caramel de leche is my favorite.
All right,
I love it.
Are we ready?
Woo, boy.
All right. Top 5. We jump right in. Do you have something to close out? We good? We're going top 5.
You
Top
want to
5.
do okay.
All right, top 5. I think it's oldie but goodie. So, but it was sent in by a viewer. Top 5 movies you grew up with that you love as a child. Not adult, as a child. Top 5 movies you grew up with as a child.
Are we keeping this one PG?
God, dog. It was not the top 5 movies you snuck out in your parents' closet.
I'm sorry. I see what you're saying.
Debbie Does Dallas.
You're right. That's what you were trying to keep away from. Okay. Yeah, we're going to keep it PG. I promise you.
Childhood movies, though. This is keep that in mind.
Debbie Does Dallas.
Some of our childhoods.
Right. That was a movie you saw as a child, right?
Yeah, dog.
Could have been in the hood. Childhood.
You going, Dwayne, or where we going? Where we at?
Yeah, I'm gonna go first.
All right, go ahead.
Then I'm gonna go with Bull Durham. I love that movie. That's why I play baseball. What was that Richard Pryor movie with when he got all the money? Brewster's Millions. Oh, I love that movie. That's 3. Number 4 movies I grew up on. Little Giants. Intimidation. I'll show you Intimidation. And number 5, Hook. Yo!
What movie was that?
Right.
Oh, Hook.
Peter Pan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Peter Pan.
I was lost for a second.
Yeah, me too.
All right, mine is simple. Damon Wayans with Major Payne. They used to have me like cracking up all the time, like in tears, snot coming out of my nose. Yeah. Bodyguard, of course, Whitney Houston. Lion King was a big part. That was like my favorite Disney movie. I wasn't a Disney kid, but Lion King was dope. Anything Steven Seagal. Cause my grandma had me in there watching a bunch of Steven and the belly follow it. Boy, that was it. Anything Steven Seagal and all James Bond, but with what's his name? Sean Connery.
Sean Connery, James Bond.
Yeah.
That was the finest Bond of all of them. So I didn't watch pretty much anything else other than Pierce Brosnan, I think.
Roger Moore.
No, I didn't like Roger Moore.
You ain't like Roger Moore?
No. It was Pierce Brosnan and it was Sean Connery.
Daniel Craig's probably the
Those
most
are mine.
realistic one of the action. First James Bond that got dirty, you know.
That's real.
Idris Elba, they almost made Idris Elba the next James Bond.
I heard.
Yeah. You got a little too much dirt on
Never
him.
ending story.
Ah, good one.
Yeah, man. Hey, that caused me anxiety.
That's a good one.
I still watch that one. Page Master with Macaulay Culkin.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Bustin' Loose with Richard Pryor and
Good
yeah.
one. Good one.
That's one of my go-tos on
Cicely
TBS.
Tyson.
Yeah, that was my go-to
Oh man, it's
on
classic.
TBS on Saturdays. Yeah. Jumpin' Jack Flash with Whoopi Goldberg. I had a crush on Whoopi. Whoopi could got it with my 8-year-old ass. And speaking of 8-year-old ass, transition to what I was sneaking out my parents' closet, or maybe my uncle's closet. Booty Talk 47. Cherokee D ass.
Hold up. Hold up. Not the number and the main actress, the lead actress. The number and the lead actress.
The letter D apostrophe.
Oh. Oh boy.
All the odds was busting.
All the odds was busted.
You good? You ready? You ready?
Yeah.
You got your 5? Go ahead, Grace.
All right, I'll start off by saying I was more of a TV person than movies.
Okay.
But my 5 would be Weekend at Bernie's.
Okay.
That shit was hilarious. I always I'm not even gonna get into it. House Party.
House Party. That's a good one.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh,
I always
man.
wanted to do that, but I went to boarding school, so I couldn't.
Couldn't do
But
that, right?
I always wanted to do that.
That's a good movie, too.
My mom would have beat my ass up with the chancla. The Mask with Jim Carrey.
Okay, Jim Carrey. Okay.
That was awesome. And then Sister Act 2.
Okay.
Shout out to Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill.
I'll go.
Yeah, the songs on there, by far the best.
Awesome.
Let's say, okay, going way back when I was a little kid, Oh Yellow.
Oh, wow. Did you cry? Did you cry?
Let's see, Bucket and Preacher.
Oh, wow.
Let's see, Purple Rain, of course.
Yes, sir.
Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, and last one I say Jason's Lyric. You
Like you be fucking in the woods.
Grass ass.
That's what mosquitoes clearly with.
an honorable mention, James Bond, Pussy Galore.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
That,
Of course.
Yeah.
Pussy Galore.
Like it was meant to be that.
Oh wow. All right,
What you
damn.
got,
for,
Teasy?
For me, Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
Loved it when dude took that girl out there in that shed, even though she was not knee and bow-legged. But nothing sexy about that. But I was a kid.
Get it how you live it.
It's a tie between these two, Superfly and Shaft. I was a kid then. Superfly was the closest thing that I could find somebody look like my daddy. That was him. Superfly and Shaft. Another two that goes together is the show Alive, about the baby that was born and came out killing
Alive
everybody.
1 and 2, yeah.
But it was just Alive 1 and Cujo.
Cujo.
Those were that's at 3. Then Risky Business with Tom Cruise.
Man.
Is at 2.
That was my honorable mention.
Hey man,
Da-na-na-na-na.
I lived to have a weekend like that.
What you said.
And I finally got it. And the crazy thing was, I did come through with the drawers on and everything. I did do that. But the crazy thing was, it was me and my cousin, the chick that we had over there, the chick that was over there for him. Come to find out, she was running from the cops.
Oh, wow.
A wanted murderer.
That's
Are you
real.
serious?
I'm so
there.
free.
Y'all were harboring a
Good
few
God.
of them.
We was harboring a fugitive for a whole, for a
Y'all doing
whole
more than
weekend.
Harvard a few.
Hey, yo, Charles.
Risky business.
Exactly.
Embodying it.
My mom went to New York, and I got to have the crib for the weekend. She's not up looking at this right now, so hopefully she doesn't know about that. Number 1, Cornbread Earl and Me.
Cornbread Earl and me.
Lawrence Fishburne, before he was Lawrence Fishburne, his name was Larry Fishburne
Yeah, it
Jr.
was. That's right. That's right.
Yes, sir.
I mentioned that before.
He had
That's a good
that
movie.
orange
That's one of my
pop.
favorite movies.
Oh, yeah.
Had the basketball and the orange
Got a
pop.
lot of them like that. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Well, you are stupid, Frank Davis. I'm gonna tell you that. Then.
Frank.
Don't get put on the couch. They let you. Hey man, I said the wrong thing. You was stupid, man. My mom got Amos and Andy Oakley, Zorro,
That's a good one.
Paladin, and Sugarfoot.
Yeah.
Sugarfoot.
Yeah, Sugarfoot.
Zorro was the first movie I saw somebody who like kind of looked like me.
Really?
Yeah, that was the first movie I saw somebody that, because he doesn't, he's not
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Dominican, but he kind of
Yeah,
represented the Hispanic
That's
community,
interesting.
So that's crazy.
All right, Frank has Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Oh, Weird Science. Good one.
Boy, she was so
Good
fine.
one.
Boy, she was so
Bueller's Big Day
fine.
Off.
Ferris Bueller's Day
What?
Off.
Oh my God, they don't.
Beach Street. Which Way Is Up? And I will mention Tank with James Garner and Star Wars. He got a couple of mine. All right, number 1 got Cornbread Earl and Me, Cooley High, Truck Turner, Get Christy Love, Sounder.
Sounds okay.
I've never seen Sounder.
Frank says Jae Tea, Nerf U, New England Rugby, caught in front yard. It was crazy. I have to tell you the stories one day. All right, Kiki has Lean On Me, Crooklyn, The Lion King, Boys in the Hood, Minister of Society.
Crooklyn was
Now, she
dope.
can really claim those as a kid. You a little older.
Yeah. Crooklyn was. Yeah,
Or later
that
got
was fine.
Cinderella, Wizard of Oz,
Good. Oh.
I Love Cornbread Earl and Me, King Kong and Godzilla. Frank said
The original
forgot
people.
Vampire in Brooklyn. And Kiki's honorable mention, Home Alone. Good classic one.
Wow, I can't believe I left that
Hey,
on
man. But he killed me with the Beat Street. I
Beat
forgot
Street.
all about
Yeah.
Crush Groove.
Hey.
Breaking. Forgot all about them, cuz.
on all the time.
There's a lot of them. I do.
That Crush
They
Groove.
don't pop into your mind until somebody else says it.
Somebody say it.
Yeah, because I Cooley High. No, I've always mentioned Cornbread.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's one of my. That's a classic. And the budgets was probably 30,000 back then, you know.
Man.
But they were so good at the level of action. But you got to look at all those actors that stuck around after that too.
Yeah. All right, I got.
Boy.
I'm gonna start off with Porky's.
Oh, boy.
Hey, I'm starting with Porky's, man. You never seen Porky's?
Oh, man. That
It's funny as
is.
shit. You
I'm
gotta watch
surprised they haven't remade that.
Yeah, that was classic, right?
That
there.
was so fine.
And you just and because and because
That was
there was
fine.
certain things you never really got to see. They had just certain scenes that you just kept watching them over and over just
Yeah.
because
What
you
was
know
it about?
teenage kids breaking into a bar. It was just crazy.
Really?
It was crazy.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
That was
Y'all put-
crazy.
Y'all give me some good movies that I haven't seen.
Yeah, Porky's is no joke.
Yeah, Porky's was no joke.
Damn.
I also got Crush Groove. That's definitely
Yeah.
one of mine. That was the introduction to the GOAT.
That's right.
Introduction to the GOAT, LL
right.
Cool J. I'm gonna go with one of my all-time favorites, the Warriors. Warriors come
just
out
made me
to
think of another
play.
And I bet you gonna say it. I bet you gonna say it. Right.
All them games.
Wish it could be like that now.
One good.
All right.
Goes to
Wish
show
it
you
could
what
be
it
like that
was.
now.
It was real fighting back in them days.
Yeah, real fight.
Real fight.
So one of my favorites when I lived in Germany, I watched this movie 1,000 times, and I started my own gang after this movie, The Wanderers.
Yeah, okay.
The Wanderers. Yeah. I'll never forget that movie,
I
man.
don't know if you're dealing with a gang or a singer group.
Hey, I did, man. I wasn't always this guy.
His new gang is still blue. So that lets me know that he was a crip too.
And I think one of my favorites as a kid, man, because I am still a fan of all these shows. I watch all the series. They keep coming out with them, and I still watch them. Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, all them joints, man. I watch the stuff they got coming out now with all the. I just
It's
love
spit-on shit.
all this. I just Mandarin, all those.
I fell off.
There's another one that gets the
Baby Yoda.
Acrolite. I just finished the first half of the
Baby Yoda.
Acrolite.
So
The Acrolite was good too. It was
You
good.
said
It was
cute?
good. I enjoyed
the
it.
Yoda? Baby Yoda. Oh,
Yeah.
Baby Yoda.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Older Yoda is
The baby Yoda. What's his name?
What is his
Oh,
name?
Grogu.
So are you Star Wars over Star Trek?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh no, Star Trek.
I'm Star
Fuck
Wars.
no, Star Trek.
Funny.
I think Star Trek is more real. I just, especially the latest one with the sister.
Hey man,
I take Star Wars over Star Trek.
I remember looking at Star Wars when Luke was in that hovercraft, and if you remember, the year was like 2022. Go back and look at the first one. The year is 2022.
Oh, that's
we
wild.
supposed to be chilling
Flying
on
right now.
hovercrafts,
And that's so.
and instead we just got to electricity.
Apparently they got flying cars already.
Oh, they have them.
Yeah, they have them.
They have 'em.
Trust me, y'all.
But they got a lot of shit that they ain't put out.
The stuff that we use
That's what
now
we supposed
in
to be right
technology,
now,
they've
what Star
had it up,
Wars
like,
was.
for 10 years already.
Oh, I remember my honorable mention. Strictly business.
Yeah, okay, all right.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
that's a good one.
That's a good one.
My
watch
honorable
with your
mention
mama?
is love and basketball.
Which way is up?
Yeah, love
Is
basketball.
on mine. Which
I
way
love
is up, man? I
that.
watched
Shania
Which Way Is Up,
Latham,
man, a million times, man.
Man,
God.
what? She's so talented. I love her on Brown Sugar too.
Yeah. Star Wars, I actually got to go.
She is
Me and our
talented,
crew,
though.
we got to go.
Yeah.
That's what
I didn't know
that's not what I
Downtown
was thinking
Germany.
about, but she's telling me.
Just imagine a bunch of
realize she
7th
did the
graders
voice
going
for
downtown Germany on their own. That's how Germany was.
Did they have
Cleveland
Did they
show?
have it?
I didn't realize
Yeah.
that.
But hold up, did they have it
Yeah.
showing in German or did they have it showing in English?
That was English.
It was English.
Yeah, they had both. You know, we go downtown and
Let
got
me tell
both
you
of them.
something,
Did you
man.
grow up in
When I-
Germany?
I was there for almost 4 years.
When I
My mom
was in
military,
Germany
so we
and we
traveled.
went to see New Jack City, and we went to see it at a
love
German
New Jack
theater, and they were speaking in German. Hey man, you talking about somebody laughing all night? Man, we laughed. We were high. Oh, boy,
yeah.
we
You were
laughed
high, I'm sure you were
for
laughing.
6 hours. They had to put us out the theater after the movie was over. We were still in there laughing
That's crazy.
because they had it in. They had the words coming out their mouth was in German. You pretty motherfucker. And then he said it in German. You talking about, hey, that is some funny stuff, man. That's why I asked you if they had it in German or English.
Yeah, they did, but we were watching in German.
Boy. Well, I was grown. So
All right,
I was a whole,
number one got all Dracula movies and Frankenstein. Kiki said, should have said, yeah. You mean the Wiz? But the Wiz, was a classic.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Still is.
Crush grew on another level. Just walk through your hand as fast as you could. Wanders was dope.
I
Tell
want-
you, the Wanders was my movie, man. Clinton Stitch.
Hey Ben, I
Hey,
want
man,
to
that
start
movie-
singing
that
that song too. He's on down the road.
Oh man, good
Nipsey
stuff.
Russell. Oh boy, you messing with me now. Let's go.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right, Ascop, I know you got here. I'm glad you got here because you had a lot. Boy, you had a lot. Wish you'd have
Oh
been
man,
here earlier.
we'd have been going
You
all
done dropped the
night.
knowledge on rugby more than I did.
Yeah, we probably would have been sitting there just like we was at a tennis match.
Would you be like,
This is who you need to take
No,
to
'cause
the
if
rugby
you-
game. Sit with
Oh
him
yeah,
and he'll
I will. That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
said
they
when
get
you do it. Yeah, they
educated,
got
right?
some.
Yeah,
You're right.
They got
It'll
some
be a
nice
lot
sides
You're
in
right.
Atlanta. They got some nice sides in Atlanta.
Yeah, I told him I'm gonna.
I wanna do it. I'm gonna do it.
for a couple of teams
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
So yeah, I can
Check
go
it out. Check it out. So you got
Yeah, 15 aside is much better than
was
sevens.
telling them,
Much
she's a lot
Man,
more
she said way more
tackling.
physical.
Said.
That's what she
Good
said.
God, yeah.
which
some
one
of the
did you play?
tackles you see in there.
15 and both. I play both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one do you like better?
Oh, 15 all the way.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I
can
don't
see
know which
that.
one I like.
I can see
It's
that.
sevens is good, but it's over too quick. And I seen it just makes one move and
Yeah.
it gets ugly. But with 15s, you're never out of it. I've seen people drop kick at the end of a game.
Yeah.
And they had a guy that we would put on.
Not the top
just
rope, being
for-
not the top rope.
Yeah, he was Australian rules.
Yeah.
So he just come in and he boom one for like 60, 70 out. And that is a crossover because you're seeing a lot of Australian rules kickers coming to the NFL right now. Because those guys on a
correct.
dead run can put that shit anywhere they want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all big
And they
dudes
don't
too.
gotta kick from the middle either.
Yeah, exactly. They're booming anywhere. But all I got is work's been good. I'm coming out with y'all with something pretty soon. And it's going real good.
Coming along, huh?
It's coming along. It's coming along.
It's good stuff, brother.
We still
talking
waiting
about-
on that food you were supposed to bring us though.
Huh?
We still waiting on that food.
You heard the so you already know he heard you.
Yeah, and I'm talking into a microphone. He's talking about, huh?
Okay, what do we got next week? I'm gonna bring something next
Talking
week and
about,
y'all can try it on there.
Huh? Huh?
Oh, you should have brought it today. I love food.
You know? I go fishing all the time in the DR.
Oh Lord, don't.
Okay.
Don't.
Quarter platter, never win a sassoon in my
add.
life.
We'll talk. Don't ask. Don't ask.
Make me
Don't
duck.
ask.
What type of fishing?
Yeah, don't ask.
No,
Don't
no,
ask.
no.
Don't
What type
ask.
of fishing
Don't
you do?
ask.
That's his.
Don't ask. Angelo,
No,
what you
no,
got, Lo? What you got, Lo? What you got?
Everything good, man.
Hey, man. saw
Don't
the
fall
boys
for the
was in
okie doke.
town.
All I got, don't fall for the okie doke.
I saw the
y'all
boys
people.
was in town, though. The boys was in town. Y'all went to the game?
Yeah, went to Georgia game. Went to
Yeah,
Georgia game,
man.
man. You know, always
I
cool to
found-
hang out with my guys.
It's the first picture that I've ever seen where I actually saw some of Angelo and the boys. Because usually all I see is the wife. I promise you, the mom. That's all I see usually. Actually saw some of Angelo and the boys. For me, not much. Happy birthday, early birthday to the wife, Casper, September 9th.
Happy
She be
birthday.
coming
Birthday,
on. She be
Casper.
coming on up. She still ain't up where she need to be. Yeah, but she's coming on up. We're gonna do a little something this weekend. I got something for you, baby. That's about it. Yeah, that's gonna do it, man. Listen, young lady, we surely appreciate you being here.
Absolutely.
Having me,
We're gonna
y'all.
keep our eye on you, and we're gonna, make sure we, document your progress right here on Classic Konversations next time
And
you're
make,
in Atlanta.
and make a
sure you come
post.
through.
Make a post when it's official.
Yeah.
I will.
Share that with us
I
on
will.
on the tag.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Thank
and
you,
make
guys.
sure
Official. No, we appreciate you. It was
when
great.
when you're in
great
Atlanta,
conversation.
come
I'm
on,
glad.
come on back through.
I'll be in Atlanta when I'm not in Michigan.
Okay.
So don't worry about that. I'll definitely be tapping in Michigan.
But that narrowed it down.
Yeah.
That narrowed it down a little
It's
bit.
cold.
gonna be way
It's
too cold
cold.
in
It's
Michigan.
cold up
Ain't
there. I
nothing
get
gonna
it.
be
I get it. I get it. I
Please
get it.
check your voter registration status. That's thinking number one. You're absolutely right. Check it because them folks are doing some dangerous things, man. Check your registration.
Gary Coleman autobiography on Peacock. People, check it out. I promise you, there's some things that you need to know about that young man that
What's
you
your name?
didn't know.
What's the name of it?
Yes, Gary Coleman. Check it out. I promise you, there's some things about that young man that you didn't know about that's going to surprise you. And hey man, that's going to do it. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo,
And that's a cop.
and we out. You dig?